Okay, what about you?
I want to know the answer.
I could say a lot of things, but I'll just say that, like, yes, I agree with you. I have seen a huge decline in masculinity. I have seen that's why, like, so many men are buying OnlyFans. That's why so many men are okay with this kind of lifestyle. Well, not okay, but they obviously buy into it. There's a lot of things that are out of balance right now. And a lot of females are weakened by it because they don't feel like well, of course they do have a place in society. Of course they can do a lot of things with what they have. But like the amount of downplay that women have nowadays is insane. The place that women put themselves in is insane comparable to men. And then men aren't being recognized for who they are. So they're also being downplayed and demasculinized or whatever. I feel like a lot of men are just like, I don't know, they're not men anymore.
All right. What about you? Thoughts on the show? Final thoughts? Questions?
I think it was a healthy debate. You know, we can agree to disagree, and there's different perspectives, and I'm appreciative to be here on the show and talk to everybody here.
Thank you for coming. What about you?
I think that, you know, in order for us to keep society being a decent society, we need to make sure that our children are protected. And it's one thing to do sex work, but it's another thing to condone it and then publicize it, because I actually saw a thing that said that over time, our children will no longer be children anymore. There will be no childhood. There will be young individuals, but there will not be childhood anymore. And there's nothing wrong with doing what you need to do to be in survival to get it done, but to turn that and say, okay, like, this isn't the best thing that there is, I think that is completely wrong. And I just really hope that we really change our perspective.
Did you have the same mindset as some of the girls earlier on the podcast, like Danny Banks, etc., before you got married?
No, I never had the same mindset. I just was in survival.
Okay. So you knew, like, all right, I got to get the fuck up out of this and find a man, versus I'm a boss and I got a lifestyle to maintain and all this other shit.
I actually never even tried to be a boss in that situation. I would work until I made what I needed to make, and I'd never even try to go over it because I would try to heal myself in the moments that I had off to get back to where I was to do it again.
You know what's interesting? I've always said that, like, when girls make money, they'll be like, oh, I made $1,000. That's good. I'm good now. And then they get the fuck up out of there. And this is the difference, because, like, you guys were trying to insult him for saying that women aren't hard workers. The reality is that women just make the money as a means to an end to get the lifestyle, whatever. Like, they make enough. All right, I'm done. But for men, it's like, oh, I made $1,000 today. If I do this 30 days, I can make $30K this month. And men will have a higher proclivity to work hard because our status is contingent upon that. Our ability to attract a mate is contingent upon that. But for women, it's not. Like, you guys can get a guy and be a brokey. But we can't do that. So this is why men in general just work harder. Like, it's just a fact. Like, you know, a lot of girls, well, women make more money nowadays. I mean, guys go into more laborious jobs. Women don't. They
do
go
we
into
want to be making more
cushy
money these days anyway? We should be being mothers and being in the household, being cooks, and getting back to how it used to be, and having the men be on the battlefield.
See, but most girls would tell you you're lazy and you're stupid for saying that. So most women would tell you that they would shit on you for saying that.
And that's the psyops that's happening.
Of
course, yeah, for sure.
I agree with you.
You have a soul. Like, you have a soul, and there have been some soulless individuals here that, frankly, are just energy suckers, and it's like they almost hate you for having a soul. And just side note, I actually probably should mention, like, when I said I was selling drugs, I was 12 years old. I was born into poverty. I was a child. I was 12 years old. But the moment that I could transition into something, I did. So those were the decisions of a child versus the decisions of a woman. But in both cases, they're bad. And I just really want to know, like, it's our responsibility to hold things together.
And here's the thing. It's funny because, like, if I asked the Saint, hey, was selling drugs shameful? He wouldn't stutter. He'd be like, yeah, it was. But I noticed when he asked you guys that, you guys have had an issue and didn't want to concede to that. So I think that's a big difference. But yeah, do you have something? What about you? Yeah.
I just wanted to.
Or did you finish your point? Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Change
Last
starts
thoughts.
with uncomfortable conversations, and change and getting the world to run smoothly and set good examples. And if you don't have these conversations, these plus others, there's other ways to do it. You don't have conversations, you don't have communication, and you don't listen to receive, and just listen to respond, you don't learn, and you don't change the world, and you don't change yourself. I also would like to say I'm a big mental health advocate. With mental health, you have to start with being real with yourself. Hey, what's wrong? What is going wrong with me? How can I be the best person to contribute to the world? Because, hey, life's short. We want to be the best that we can be. And figure yourself out. Self-love, women, I'm always going to promote that. Self-love does not look like saying fuck everything and everybody. It's love. It starts with love, and you put it out, and you be real with yourself.
I have a question.
What's that?
You said you have a commercial cleaning business. Did you start up that business through the money that you made from dancing?
Partially, yes.
Okay. Like, how long did you dance before you were able to make that segue?
I could have made it prior. I was nervous to just jump into it, so that's it probably a couple years.
Okay, so you were dancing for a couple of years, and you were able to transition out, like 2-3 years, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, and then you took that money and invested into your business. And when's the last time you danced since then?
Ooh, it's been a few years.
All right. No, I just asked that because what I've noticed is like very rarely do girls like transition out of that life. Right. I mean, most of the girls here are still in it, right? So like they haven't, they like, or they're in and they're still in it.
Yeah, it's hard.
So,
fast money is an addictive thing, and that's why I think your mental health is really important, because you need to have the discernment to know, hey,
fast.
This is my plan.
Does that also mean easy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Question: do you guys ever want to get out the industry? Do you ever want to get out?
Yeah.
Yeah. You?
I don't want to get out. I'm very happy in it. But I know that there will be a means to an end, and I have no qualms about that.
There you go, girl. Double down.
Okay.
All right.
I got out because it just didn't resonate with me. My soul, I could feel it was bringing me down. I mean, you could say the devil was taking over.
How
I mean,
long did
like
you
it's
dance
a real. I danced. So I was dancing in LA. Yeah,
Whoa,
really bad.
whoa.
Really
So-
bad.
What's the age? Wait, what is the age in LA?
I was. So, I was dancing in LA. Did it for a couple years, had some really crazy years, was not living my highest potential and the things I had done prior in my life because I wasn't happy with myself. And staying in it made me realize it was making me become someone I didn't want to become, and I didn't recognize myself anymore. So I decided to take myself out, not out of shame, not out of embarrassment. Just it was not in
20,
alignment with me.
21, when did you get out?
21.
21?
Yeah.
Right.
So I've been out for a long time, and it's been hard. It's been hard trying to do my own businesses and have regular jobs and trying to balance it all. And there's
It's
just
been
days hard as far as like,
Are
because
you saying
she's
that
saying
it was easy and fast when you were stripping?
I wouldn't say easy, but fast. I don't think dancing or anything in the adult industry is easy. Fast.
But what you're doing now is
not
hard.
laborious, maybe totally.
But what you're doing now is hard.
It definitely is more laborious and requires a lot more mental strength and just requires more of me, which for me, I like the challenge because I want to live up to my highest potential, and that's what makes me truly feel fulfilled. But I had to live the life and come full circle to fully comprehend and live that.
If you guys talk long enough, that truth eventually comes out, because earlier you guys said that it was hard work being in the sex industry. And
I think it's more mentally. It's just mentally texting. I mean, physically, sure, yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
You're feeling your soul die.
So it's
that's not
what
the
it
work.
takes.
That's the consequence. You're feeling your soul die.
totally, but it does
You have to
regardless take a lot
desensitize
out of
yourself.
you.
Yeah,
Which is not
absolutely.
normal.
I can dig that.